It's 1979. You've just left Apocalypse Now at the AMC. The Bee Gees are dominating the airwaves. In your hands is something new, a fresh copy of Regatta de Blanc from Tower Records. You slide it into your tape deck. You hear a subtle hiss. Suddenly, you're hearing drumming unlike anything you've ever heard.
The way he just swings with that reggae, like, kind of pulse, it's,
The effect that he used was so groundbreaking. I had never heard anything quite like that.
Like, it's so cool.
Stewart's another drummer that when he plays, you know it's him.
You know, as soon as you hear Stewart Copeland play the drums, you know who it is.
What makes Stewart Copeland's drumming on Walking on the Moon sound decades ahead of its time? Was it his rare mix of influences from Jamaica and Lebanon, his obsession with rhythm and technology, or did Sting and Andy Summers push Stewart into new territory behind the drums? If you've ever wondered how a drummer can completely reshape the sound of a song, this story is for you. Walking on the Moon proves Stewart is a mad scientist behind the kit and shows how a drummer can leave a permanent mark on music history. Let's dive in. One night in Munich, Sting is lying in bed when a bass line pops into his head. Half awake and still intoxicated, he gets up and starts singing to himself. The original title, Walking Round the Room. But eventually, probably after lots of arguing,
F off, Sting, shut the f up and let's finish the goddamn song!
the lyrics change. The composition was minimal, bass, vocals, and lots of space. Stewart had this blank canvas, which was an opportunity to record a drum part no one had ever heard on a rock record. Stewart said the song began as a rocker, but evolved before they recorded it for the album. Stewart adds the cross stick later in the intro to complete the main drum pattern, and without the swing feel, the song just falls flat.
When we were recording, I didn't think that much about it. I probably heard the song, half an hour before we recorded it. But the engineer turns around as he's mixing it with the delay lines and everything, saying, man, this is gonna put you on the map. So it would appear.
When I was 12 years old, I'd listened to the Police Greatest Hits CD with my dad on the drive to school.
No, don't roll it, don't roll it.
Walking on the Moon grabbed me immediately. The swung reggae groove sounded different, and I didn't know who Stewart Copeland was at the time, so I dug in. My drum teacher showed me the one-drop rhythm so I could play a little bit like Stewart, but reggae drumming can be tricky and most drummers struggle without a guide, and that's where Musora comes in. We have structured lessons that actually work, and our course Exploring Reggae Grooves teaches you key reggae patterns like the one-drop, rockers, steppers, and some drum fills. With these, you'll be jamming Walking on the Moon in no time. Just click the link in the description to start for free and follow the lessons to play more like Stewart Copeland.
I'm banging shit here.
But what makes Walking on the Moon sound futuristic? It was a trip to Manny's music in 1978. Before recording the album, Stewart had just bought a Roland Space Echo, a device guitar and keyboard players used to echo and repeat sounds. He had this wild idea to hook it up to his drum kit.
We took ourselves down to 57th Street to Manny's Music Store, which sadly no longer exists. But it was the music store of the world.
Yeah.
And we spent the morning in there I'll have that Roland Space Echo, I'll have that Chorus Echo, I'll have that Taurus bass pedals, I'll have that Stratocaster.
Without the Space Echo, you lose that futuristic sound.
I mean, the effect that he used on his cross stick was so groundbreaking. I had never heard anything quite like that.
Oh man, it was so cool, man. Yeah. It's just all these different effects and just his timing and just real intricate playing, but tastefully done.
Man, it just made that song sing and feel so good.
It's funny because at the time when I was first listening to him, I didn't know it was delay, right? I was younger, so.
As a kid, I didn't know that was delay, so we all learned to play that.
I'm sure there's many other drummers like myself who tried to play it like she did with the delay, and just make it more difficult for yourself.
After experimenting with the space echo, Stewart discovered a 1 repeat delay that worked perfectly for his hi-hat patterns. He also used the space echo to create a wobble effect, repeating 2 notes back instead of 1. Are you following all this shit? Stewart even played the delay live using a foot pedal to switch it on and off. With the futuristic sound in place, let's break down Stewart's drum parts. The song has 3 main drum parts. The verse sets the foundation, and Stewart's tight hi-hats give the groove a crisp sound.
Giant steps are what you take, walking on the moon. I hope my leg don't break, walking on the moon. We could walk forever, walking on the moon. We could be together, walking on the moon.
But here's the twist. He blends the reggae grooves he mastered early on with rhythms from Beirut and Cairo.
Basically, I had my own vocabulary that I came from Arabic culture. And the backbeat has dominated all music all the way until the year in which we live. Until those guys over in Jamaica turned it all bass backwards and came up with the landing hard on 3 and the endless void for 1, which shares that feature with Arabic music, the baladi rhythm. And their version, da, 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 nothing 2, 3, 4, nothing on 1.
Yeah.
1 is an empty void, an endless expanse of nothingness, a soulless, dark, black hole.
Nothing.
There is no 1. 3 is where the shit happens.
Yeah. His mix of global influences sets him apart from other rock drummers of the era and contributes to Walking on the Moon's unique sound.
Walking on the Moon isn't strictly reggae. We could call it reggae adjacent, but actually it's 4 on the floor with a bit of a hi-hat and no backbeat. I guess if it isn't just straight rock and roll, people tend to call it reggae, but I would prefer to call it Arabic baladi rhythms from the country.
In the chorus, Stewart plays quarter notes on the bass drum. The groove gains momentum and energy, and you'll probably have the urge to tap your foot in this section.
Some may say, I'm wishing my days away, no way. And if it's a price I pay, some say, tomorrow's another day. You stay, may as well play.
What's unexpected is that Stewart only plays 1 drum fill in the entire song. In an era where drummers like John Bonham, Phil Collins, and Neil Peart were rewriting drum history with their iconic fills, Stewart's restraint stands out.
That's the secret of reggae. Wherever possible, I try and use and play with that negative space.
He was intentionally leaving more space, letting the groove and atmosphere take the spotlight. The fill features the only 2 snare hits in the song, 2 massive flams marking the start of the outro.
May as well play.
For recording Walking on the Moon, Stewart was using the same drum kit he'd used on almost everything up to that point. And a few years ago, someone actually bought it for $121,000.
One of the biggest thrills of my life is that when I gave my son my old drum set so that he could sell it, and a way of transferring wealth to your offspring is just a secondhand drum set, but he sold it for crazy money, auctioned it, and I learned recently that the guy who bought it, Taylor Hawkins said, shit, man, that's, above my pay grade. You need singer money for that kind of thing. Well, turns out he was right. The drums were bought in the auction by Eddie Vedder. God, the Lord is shining upon us today.
The blue kit was Stewart's main drum kit from 1976 to 1980. It's a Tama Imperial Star he played on the Police's early gigs, the Fallout single, the first 2 Police records, and projects like Curved Air and Clark Kent. The most unusual piece, a thick 20-inch ride cymbal placed where most drummers would keep their left crash cymbal. For Stewart, it worked perfectly, and if he wanted to break the rules, we know he would anyway.
Does it mean a lot to you when you get these awards?
It was an evening for the benefit of all the rich fat cats who buy and sell us musicians. And the fat cats get up and make speeches about how much they love music. Bullshit. They buy and sell music like potatoes.
Walking on the Moon hit #1 on the UK singles chart, and the album went platinum in the US, selling over 1 million copies. It became one of the Police's first major hits, opening the door to their success in the US. And whenever guest drummers come to Drumeo, Stewart's name comes up more than any other.
One of the greatest things about Stewart's feel is he brings that kind of reggae touch to like a rock or a punk rock band. And Walking on the Moon is one of those songs, just like Stewart's backbeat. There is no backbeat. It's that kick drum. Dun, 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 boom, boom, dun, boom.
Stewart was so innovative and so influential to me as a teenager growing up in the 70s. His sound, his approach, and I was a huge Clark Kent fan. I loved his solo stuff, and it really inspired me to write music.
Walking on the Moon, all of Stewart Copeland's parts are just super interesting, and what feel and creativity he had back then. And I love how a lot of his playing is just almost off the rails.
It epitomizes tasty drumming. I stole a lot of cross-stick magic from that particular song. Drumming-wise, I think it's probably in my top 10 favorite drum performances.
That really kind of changed my life, that record. There was just nothing like it at the time. You know what I mean? It really kind of expanded my mind and opened some new doors for me. But yeah, trying to play that without delay, you know, was really challenging and kind of like pushed the envelope for me, really.
He started a whole genre of drumming that inspired so many drummers. A ball of energy. You know, I just love drummers that are just, you know, larger than life and just aren't the guy in the back, you know, behind the singer, just like, you know, that you don't really notice. And Stewart's a true example of that.
I love Stewart, just the way that he's able to speak on the drums. He doesn't necessarily always play the same parts every single time, but every single time he does, he plays with meaning, and yeah, so he's a huge inspiration of mine. Love Stewart Copeland.
The feel on that song, it's one of my favorite Police songs, and hats off to him and that song and the Police in general.
Nobody sounds like him, nobody plays like him. He's got this unique approach, so important to the drumming community in general, and super important to me. Half of it is from the playing and the parts that he did, but so much of it is from like the attitude, unrelenting, just, you know, here I am, you know, shut up and listen. Like, it's just amazing.
You know, after the drummers of the 70s, Stewart might have been like my next drumming crush. His hi-hat work was like very influential on me. And he had such a personality on the drum set. So yeah, that's a perfect example of that.
Stewart Copeland is one of my favorite drummers of all time. Once I heard Stewart Copeland, I was like, this guy is on a different, I mean, just like, I just heard music different. It's reggae, it's pop, it's punk, it's like all of these, it's like 80s punk. It had this British tinge to it, and Stewart's obviously an American guy. It's just like this really cool mashup of everything.
What an amazing rhythmatist. You know, just coming up with all these different cool, amazing, like reggae, ska, and he says he's kind of a combination of Buddy Rich and Ringo, and he's a real musician's musician. He pioneered so much. Stewart Copeland changed the game, man.
Well, ain't that nice? I am so humbled to have these endorsements from my peers. Such amazing drummers saying such kind words, you know. I ain't no Eloy, I ain't no Siberiano, but I haven't got those chops, but people seem to discern a cool factor, which I agree with. I haven't got those chops, but it's just cool rhythms, which people seem to like. But oh, thank you so much, all you peer drummers, for recognizing my cool shit. You know, I don't think about it that much. It's all instinctive. It is a beautiful day here in California, and thank all you folks for getting the groove. I love you all.
Working with Stewart Copeland in 2024 was a crazy experience. He burst into the studio full of Stewart energy, ready to play, and just wanted to go with the flow without knowing the plan. Classic Stewart.
So what's next? Where's my trusty drumstick for?
I think he's. Oh. Hearing him play those Police grooves in person, the same ones we all grew up listening to, was surreal, especially on his actual kit. Even before he arrived, I got to jam on his kit while his drum tech was there, and playing Message in a Bottle and Walking on the Moon with those crisp hi-hats, the high-pitched snare drum, and all the toms and octobans was so cool. You instantly feel how his setup shaped the sound of those records, and it took me straight back to being a kid practicing with the Greatest Hits CD on my old kit. Now, if you have a Stewart Copeland memory or a lesson you've learned from him, make sure you drop it in the comments for everyone to check out. And if you want to play more like Stewart, the Exploring Reggae Grooves course on the Musora app breaks down the most important reggae grooves and fills. You just press play and follow along, and you can click the link below to try it for free. The outro of Walking on the Moon is one of my favorite drum parts in the song. It combines everything Stewart plays throughout the track, and we get to hear some more space echo. So enjoy the final breakdown, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.